Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Pro Bowler Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders as they get set to take on the rookie Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Oakland Raiders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence. Swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the 5th and final quarterback taken in the first round of this year's draft. From Louisville, here's Lamar Jackson.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly
I don't want to know.
that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
It finds Crabtree for the completion. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bruce Irvin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victor.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On 2nd down, Lynch. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the gun now on 3rd down. Carr over the middle of Amari Cooper. It's complete. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Again, it's Richard. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Yeah, the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
The NFL's comeback player of the year in 2016 is Jordy Nelson. He couldn't duplicate the magic last year with his quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the shelf for a big portion of it due to injuries, but he's still well respected around the league. If you want to run press coverage against him, be prepared for him to run by you.
From the gun on 3rd down. Carr. He'll have his man. That's Cooper. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to
trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Carr gives to Marshawn. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Well, when you think of these two teams, two franchises, Baltimore and Oakland, Charles, what comes to mind?
Well, the ghost to the post in the late 1970s, but remember, that's the Baltimore Colts who are now in Indianapolis. These are the Ravens who came from Cleveland and formerly were the Browns.
Well, they also have some history, though. The Ravens, between these two teams, won an AFC championship game in 2001. Also beat a Derek Carless Raiders 30-17 in Oakland a year ago. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Cooper's got it. At the end of 1, 7-0 is our score. We're back to Baltimore after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. Carr now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And hauling it in, Nelson. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Caught by Nelson. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. He got 29 yards that time. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Carr to throw on 2nd down. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Carr now on 3rd and goal. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal. You did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes. You don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And that play was vintage Derek Johnson. Made a play in the backfield In college, he did as an outside linebacker. Used speed to get to the backfield. Now, a bulked-up inside linebacker with multiple Pro Bowls on his resume.
On third down, Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second down, here's Carr. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Lynch running the counter, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
29.
To throw on second down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. C.J. Mosley in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Here's Carr. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you evolved. You know, you learned how to play it the Madden way.
And now here come the Ravens. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now it's Jackson. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go. Blue 90.
To throw is Jackson. To throw on third down. Allen has it left side. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 35. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson going up top. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. Hot.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. He was looking for Crabtree that time.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So out come the Raiders.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
On 1st, here's Washington. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Get set.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Carr. It's caught. Nelson. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Carr now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Carr. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3-point.
Points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll kick things off with the twice-yearly battle for Ohio. This one has Cleveland making the trip south to Cincinnati. And it's the Browns who have the lead late in the first half. Tyrod Taylor throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And at the half, they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. LaShawn McCoy has run for a touchdown there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And Nelson's got it here right side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now let's go. 3-19.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Raiders pick it up.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Flush to his right. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only give up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, And we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Ravens on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now. 3,
They go play action with Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll keep pounding here with Lynch. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The pitch out to Lynch. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier. In fact, one of their favorite plays, it was called a row stem right or row stem left, depending on the formation. 28 toss. And 28 toss was their bread and butter.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Carr now on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
To throw, it's caught. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. He's going to go up top for the end. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. Cooper was the intended target. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting him in jeopardy right now.
After the interception, here's Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
Set! Green, 39!
On second down, Jackson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Set! Green, 39! Green, 39!
Play action. Now Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. And that is going to do it for this third quarter. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a first and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On first and goal, Collins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Collins, his 9th touchdown this season, and the Ravens have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown. That
drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw forward.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now Carr throwing on second down. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Avoids him at the 40. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run with Lynch. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
They get it to him running left. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. From the gun, it's Carr. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Set, 3-19.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter, got to feel pretty good as a defense.
The Ravens on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Play action. It's Jackson. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL?
All right, here we go.
The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And some space here. That good for 19 on a first down. They run again on first down, Lynch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run to Marshawn Lynch. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Handoff comes to Lynch. And now running right through it. And he's brought down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's a give to Lynch. And a short gain down to about the 33. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game.
Easy, kill.
On the handoff, Lynch. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Raiders on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Carr. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Willie Henry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or two, but it's no good as it stands. And this score will stay right where it is. So points so crucial in a tight game like this, but this kick off the goalpost, and that'll keep the score right where it is.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made this a 2-score game, but any cushion this late definitely would have helped. Now they need to ask their defense for another stop, and that's going to require some work.
He'll look to throw, and this one complete to Seth Roberts. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And with 45 seconds showing, he spikes the football. He's back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. And it's third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. This to tie things up in the final minute. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th quarter in Philadelphia. And an impressive display by the Eagles. They continue to pour it on, scoring again. Carson Wentz, 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. Carr to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Get set. We got three, fellas. We got 3. 29.
Now Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
6:37. 7:34.
To throw is Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere. Yeah,
and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow, I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you.
6:94. 29.
On 3rd down, Carr. He's going to look deep down the field. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. The Raiders do snap it. It's Carr going deep here for Bryant. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Switzer now to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
First throw of overtime for Carr. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A good pickup there at 22. Part of the reason we're in overtime, all the interceptions he's thrown in this game, but that was a good throw right there.
Hey, he's really not daunted, is he, partner? I mean, it's been interception palooza for him, and he's still pushing it downfield, trying to make a play, and he was successful on that throw.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Carr now on 3rd and goal. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Raiders, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Get like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just with plastic. I say, babe, it's, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, he can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back, with me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking.